He hails from Summersville, South Carolina. Him and his beautiful wife did a fantastic job out there. When I land in South Carolina, he'll run me up and down that highway. We'll go through a tank of gas. We've gone in small towns with, hey, Mr. Freddie Sherman, the one side says stop, the other side says goodbye. So small. We went in the gas station where people didn't speak English. He got the guy to look at the opportunity. I said, this guy, I thought I was something. He got everybody. Man, you get within 3 feet of Mr. Evans, you're in trouble. I love it though. He has grown his business throughout the United States, doing a fantastic job. And his topic this month is said on the flyer, who do you know? Oh my God, I can't wait to hear this part, the rest of this. Without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to none other than Regional Director, the great Mr. Curtis Evans.
Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Good, 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 good. We're not going to take a lot of time today, but we're going to get some stuff done. That's the name of the game. So thank you, Al, for the introduction. So what I want to do today is talk about something very important. I need everybody to take some notes. The first thing I want to talk about is timing. Okay, I want to talk about timing. I want to talk about it real short. I want you to understand how important timing is. And this was pushed on me at one of the leadership meetings when I had the crazy opportunity. I had about 10 people there to RD something. So anyway, long story short, I had the crazy opportunity to have two co-founders sitting in front of me. Okay, now I had one before Mr. Thomas made sure we were introduced to the owners of the company when we just got started. I was fortunate enough and worked hard enough at a point in my life where I was able to get to the top of our comp plan in an old company called Excel. The top of the comp plan was ESD, Executive Senior Director or something like that. It was ESD, and then they put something in there called a pool. They had a pool and an ambassador. So I was able to qualify for 2 levels of the ambassador pool. Now, y'all, that's like SPPP, right? SPP, whatever that thing is now we got. That's like that. And I could not figure out why. I didn't put it quite this way with the co-founder. Well, I couldn't get going like I wanted to get going, and I knew what to do and how to do. I knew how hard work it is. I slept in cars outside of hotels, stuff in front of, it was cheap. You made $500. You don't want to spend 400 of it in a hotel, so you had to get back home. We wore out 2 cars, but I finally got to the top of the comp plan, and we were ready to do that again. And so both of them, without even, they looked right at me and said something else was going on while you were building that business. Something was happening while you were building that business. If you put that much work in, something was going on. Now I need everybody to understand this. Something was going on while you were working hard, okay? So you can work hard and you make some money. We have made money with this company. But what I'm saying is something else is going on in the world while you were working that hard, okay? In other words, people were listening for an opportunity. They're looking for an opportunity. And they said that had more to do with it than anything, but you still need to put in your time. I mean, no matter what you do, you need to put in your time. So, if we would have got in this business when it first got started, we probably would have quit because they started with long distance, and we know nobody pays for that no more. Then they went to pagers, and we know, I haven't seen nobody walking around with a pager in a long time, okay? And then we went with cell phones. We still have those, but now everybody has 2 and 3 of them in the house. And so when you're working hard, it's something new that just came out, something big that's happening. And if you put your time and energy into that, you can make a ton of money, if you were in the very beginning of that. And that's what we're in now. Now I got a video to show you this, but I'm gonna give you a little context. Banking, y'all know about Dingo Blue, so I'm not gonna go into all the details there, but we get paid every month when somebody pays their utility bill. We get paid every month, but see, I don't have utilities in South Carolina, okay? We get paid every month when somebody pays their internet bill, when somebody pays their phone bill, or their health care bill. We have services that when they pay those bills, we get paid on those bills. And if we have a big organization or a small organization, you get paid on people in your organization. Now, I'm not gonna bore you here, but that is unusual to get paid on something you didn't do every month. Residual income that comes every month for something you didn't do. But the reason this next product is so big is because now, the reason the next product is so big is because it's bigger than anything they've come out with before. They said this clearly, and you guys might now understand that. Because today, if you go to the food store like I did earlier this morning and bring back $100 worth of food, and I pay for it with the what? Debit card. Okay? Now, Mr. Thomas in the future will get a little bit of that because he's my upline. I'm okay with that. I'll get a little bit, he'll get a little bit. I'm okay with that. Okay, but think about this. When we got into business, we wanted to get paid when somebody used their cell phone. And how many times they pay that bill every month? One time. They pay the utility bill one time every month. They may pay their internet bill one time every month, and that's really, 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 really good. That's why our residual income is built around. But we had a meeting last night, and our meeting, one young lady said that she looked at her debit card, and last month she used it 84 times. She used her debit card 84 times. Now, how would you like to get paid when people use when they pay? Because if you're in a non-energy state like ours, when people pay their utility bill with their debit card, so all of a sudden I got a little bit of energy. When someone bought a candy bar with their debit card, how many times are they going to put gas in their car this month? So this debit card thing is going to have us getting paid a lot. Now, the name of the game is, if you don't understand percentages, what about if you had $1 million of billables in your group? Okay, just $1 million of billables in your group, and you got to pay 1% of that. What's 1%? 10%. 10% of $1 million is 100,000. 1% is 10,000, and a half of 1% is 5,000, and a half of that is $2,500. So if you get down to the point of $1 million, you're talking a lot of money. What if someone bought their car with their debit card? What if they made their car payment every month? Now watch this. When you make your car payment, more than likely you're going to have it coming off your debit card every month. It's going to automatically come out. Your utility bill is going to automatically come out. Some of these things are habitual. Some of them aren't. They're unconscious, as I should say. They're habitual and unconscious. So people just automatically put in all these bills that they got that we're not going to ever get into every bill that everybody got, but if we're into the debit card, if we're into this business here, it's bigger than anything. So our business opportunities jumps from billions for the company and jumps into trillions. Now, trillion is a lot of money. We only got 1 trillion there, but trillion is a lot of money. And so we're jumping from trying to be a $1 billion company to a $1 trillion company and multiple $1 trillion. And the video said that in the United States, in the savings and the savings and the accounts in the United States is around $16 billion in those accounts sitting there, just sitting still, not the ones they use, just sitting still. $16 billion. So you don't have to get a part of this. You don't have to get a slice of the pie. You just need to lick the knife. Okay, you don't need to get a big slice of this. This is so big, you have to be a big part of it. But now and especially us, we could not take advantage of this because we've been in the business before. We've seen other products and services come out and they're really great and they make a lot of sense. But this is the biggest one ever, because even when they pay think about this, if they paid their utility bill and you got some of the utility bill and they paid for it with their debit card, you got 2 hits on the utility bill. You got 2 hits on it, okay? And that all adds up to what? Residual income, because we don't have to go train people to use a debit card no more. The stores do not have cash no more. Nobody robs stores no more because there's no money there, okay? Everybody pays for everything with their debit card. When I'm so old, I remember when they used to rob the grocery stores on Friday night because everybody's buying groceries on Friday night with cash. And so, it's just crazy. So it's very, 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 very important that you understand where you are so that when you go back to work, and we all need to fire ourselves, just fire ourselves. Just say, I'm going to fire you, you're not worth a cuss, get out of here, right? And then go to sleep, wake up in the morning, and rehire yourself. Because you are now in a different kind of world here when they start talking this dingo blue. You got to understand it. And if you're not excited about it, it's like, something's wrong. How are you going to recruit somebody you're not excited? How are you going to show somebody something that you're not excited about? So all you want to do is do this, and this thing will grow. Your organizations will have millions of dollars in your organizations, and you'll get paid a point something of a 1% and do absolutely mind-boggling fine, because next month they're going to use these services again and again and again. They're going to use these products again. They're going to buy chewing gum. They're going to buy movie tickets. They're going to buy tires for their car with their debit cards. Okay, and when they get this debit card, now the young people know this, like they got a chime card. When you go to work with a company, you tell them, I want to put my money on this card. They don't ask you your checking account and all that. They want to know where you want money. You give them your card and all the information. And then Friday when you get paid, we used to have a check in the hole, but now when you get paid on Friday, they'll work on Monday. On Friday, the money will be in their account. That's where the world has gone to. And so in addition to that, all the thousands of dollars that people are making from their income is constantly going onto their cards, and they're spending off of their cards. This is not something we got to train people to do. So we're in the right place at the right time. So I'm going to show you a short video to reinforce what I just said, and then I'm going to show you something that's going to help you, because a lot of us are going to have problems with launching. And I say launching because it's like you just got started. I want you to look at yourself like you just got started. You were trucking along, doing real well, and all of a sudden they came out with this that thing called Dingo Blue, that thing they call debit card.
Right now, someone in your phone contacts is buying a coffee. Someone else just got a notification that their monthly subscription renewed. The average person taps their card more than 30 times a month and auto-pays nearly a dozen subscriptions. These are regular habits that lead to daily and monthly spending. But what if every single one of those microtransactions paid you? Introducing Dingo Blue, a powerful financial technology platform built for the way people actually live today. Powered by the ACN direct sales infrastructure, Dingo Blue gives your network a frictionless mobile account. 16.6 trillion. That's how much money is sitting in checking and savings accounts across the United States right now. Now, imagine getting paid when your customers simply do what they're already doing every day. When they keep a balance in their savings and checking accounts, you earn every single month a small percentage of what is in those accounts. When they tap their card for groceries, you earn. When they fill up their tank, pay their bills, grab a coffee, book a trip, or shop online, you earn. Every swipe, every purchase, every month. Every transaction creates another powerful opportunity to earn income through everyday purchases people are already making. Bills, gas, online checkouts, every swipe creates another opportunity. Dingo Blue aggregates those micro percentages, building a compounding residual pipeline directly to you. You acquire the customer once, you monetize their lifestyle indefinitely. No legacy fees, total transparency. Banking services are provided securely by our licensed FDIC-insured partner bank, giving your network institutional-grade protection. Stop funding someone else's success. Start creating your own. Tap into your pre-approved marketing toolkit, connect with your network, and launch your Dingo Blue engine now.
So now that was just confirmed. Now we have several videos in your back office. That's just one of them. That's one you can send to someone. That's a peaking video. How would they like to get paid like that? If they're not interested, move on. No, the second question you got to ask everybody is, who do they know? Mr. Thomas showed us that he got a guy in the business way back in the day because somebody he knew well didn't want to do this thing, but they knew somebody that did. So Mr. Thomas called this guy named Lee Lemons, and he signed up. Yeah, y'all don't know who Lee Lemons is. I do. And these people show up out of the blue in your organization. Okay, our job is to sort, and ask that magic $1 million question. Who do you know? We stop. Why do we stop? Why do we stop when they say they're not interested? If they're not interested and they don't want to do this, who do you know? Well, my brother always talks about making a lot of money. You know, my sister's into, and go, could you put me in touch with them? And say, yeah. So that's a $1 million lesson there. Now our second thing is, how do we launch ACN? How do the new ACN? How do we launch our business? How do we launch this? Because this is important. If you just keep doing the same thing you're doing, it don't matter what the product is. It don't matter if you keep doing what you're doing. So let's take a look at another video, and I'm gonna knock that one out real quick.
Hey everybody, this is Eric Worre, and welcome to NetworkMarketingPro.com. I'm excited because today I'm going to start a 5-day training series on how you can change your life in 90 days. I've learned over the course of 24 years in network marketing one very important lesson. maybe the most valuable lesson I ever learned. 90 days can change your life. 90 days can turn everything around. One focused 90-day burst of energy that's well thought through, well planned, and well executed can take you from invisible to average, from average to extraordinary, from extraordinary to a legend. You could become a legend. You could become a name over the course of one 90-day period of time. I have coached and trained hundreds of people to change their life over the course of these 24 years, personally, one-on-one. And over the course of these 5 videos, over the next 5 days, I'm going to coach you on the fundamentals of what you need to do in order to be able to put together a 90-day game plan that can change your life. It happened for me twice in my career. The first was in 1992. I was struggling in network marketing. I was not achieving my goals. And I put together a 90-day game plan September of 1992. And October, November, and December, I worked like my life hung in the balance over the course of those 3 months. And over the next 12 months, I went from being nobody in network marketing to having a 1099 of $980,000 in that year, all from that 90-day burst of energy. It made me scratch my head and wonder why I didn't condense my efforts into a 90-day burst earlier than that, because up until that point I've been working reasonably hard and plodding along. What I've learned is slow and steady doesn't win the race. You need a burst of energy, and then you can maintain it. And then another burst of energy, and then you can maintain it. The burst of energy is a 90-day burst. People constantly overestimate what they can do in a week or a month. And they underestimate what they can get accomplished in 90 days if it's thought out. It happened to me again in 2005. I had some challenges financially. I'd invested all of my money into a business that, a non-MLM business that did not succeed. So I found myself in a tough situation. And in June of 2005, I launched another 90-day game plan, another 90-day burst. And over the course of just the first 90 days, I made $83,000 in commissions. Over the course of the next 6 years, I made $7 million in commissions. Almost every penny of it can be pointed directly back to what I accomplished in that first 90 days. I've trained, like I told you, I've trained other people. One example is a guy by the name of Art Napolitano. Art is the top income earner in a major network marketing company today. But when I first met Art, Art didn't have any success. He didn't have any money. And he came to Chicago, drove from Boston to Chicago, met with a friend of mine and myself. And he said, tell me what I got to do. I'll do whatever's necessary. And we said, you know, the only thing between you and becoming a millionaire is putting 1,000 people in a room 90 days from now. And he said, really? Because if that's the ticket to be, freedom, I'll do it. Tell me what I got to do. So we spent a couple hours laying out a game plan, very specifically. And he didn't have 1,000 people 90 days later, but he had about 600-700. And today, he makes approximately $5 million a year in commissions. $5 million. From nothing. And I would tell you, if you talk to him, if he pointed back to what created his future, it was that season, that little, and he's done other 90-day game plans since then. I have so many friends that have gone on to make $100,000 a year, $500,000 a year, $1 million a year, or more, all pointed back to the 90-day game plan. So what I want you to do, just to understand in this first video, is that what I'm going to share with you is real. It's possible. You can do it. And I'm going to show you how to do it step by step. I'm going to give you all the major components. And your life can change. You don't have to crawl through network marketing. You don't have to struggle. You can change your life. You can, if you're frustrated with yourself, we can give you some direction, okay? One of the first things that you need to do as you start with this process is you've got to create some specific goals. In other words, why are you going to do what you're about to do? Because you're going to need to sacrifice. We're going to talk about that sacrifice tomorrow and the next day and the next day. We're going to need to sacrifice over the course of these 90 days. But what are you doing this for? What is your end game? Some examples. You might want to do a 90-day game plan to go to a new rank. Maybe you haven't gone to the rank you want to get to, or maybe you've been stuck at a rank too long, you want to break through. But sometimes a rank, maybe there's a convention coming up and you swore you're not going to go to that convention unless you're walking across the stage. You know what I'm saying? You should go anyway, but you know what I'm saying? A rank advancement goal can be a powerful goal. 2, can be a team goal. Maybe you want to grow your team by 100 people or 500 people or 1,000 people or 10 people or whatever. You want to grow your team. You want to see your team rank advance. Maybe you can combine those two. How many people on your team could you get to the next rank? So it could be a team goal. 3, it could be cash. You just might need to make something happen. When I started in 2005, June of 2005, I needed money like oxygen. I had to make something happen. So when I put together my 90-day game plan, yes, rank advancement was important. Yes, team was important. But I had to get some cash coming in the door. So you can combine these. Cash with rank advancement plus your team. Get your team making more money. Get your team rank advancing. But you need to write all these things down. Maybe it's a prestige goal. Maybe you just want to be somebody. When I first did it in 1992, my first real 90-day game plan, I wanted to be somebody. I wanted people to know me. I wanted to become known in network marketing. I wanted to have success, because prestige isn't just for you. It's for the team. Because if you have prestige, the team has more confidence to go out there and do what needs to be done. They could proudly say, I'm on this person's team. I'm on that person's team. So it helps with their recruiting. It helps with all of their efforts. These are just some ideas. But what you need to do is you need to write down, what are your goals? If you could accomplish anything over the course of a 90-day period of time, within reason, what would those goals be? In 90 days, what would those goals be? It might be a personal recruiting goal. It might be a rank advancement goal. It might be a team goal. It might be money, financial goal. It might be prestige. It might be a lot of different things. I don't know what it is for you. But combination maybe of all of these things. But I want you, before I give you, over the course of the next 3 days, the 3 major steps to the 90-day game plan, I want you to take a minute and write this down. Write your goals down. Get them clear in your mind. What would it mean to you if you accomplished that goal? What would it mean to you if you weren't crawling in MLM any longer? What would it mean to you if your team was proud of you? What would it mean to you if you had more cash flow coming into your home? What would it mean to you to get to that next rank, or to sponsor 20 people? What would it mean to you if you make that happen? Okay? So write that down, and we're going to start the 1, 2, 3 tomorrow. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, my wish for you is that you decide to become a network marketing professional. You decide to go pro, because it is a stone cold fact that we have a better way. Now let's go tell the world. That is episode number 2. I'll see you tomorrow with episode number 3. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey, everybody. This is Eric Worre, and welcome to NetworkMarketingPro.com. Today is episode number 3 of our 5-part series on how 90 days can change your life. Your 90-day game plan. Yesterday we talked about goals, and I hope you've set them by now. If you haven't, pause this video right now and set your goals.
Alrighty, okay. I hope you guys were writing some notes there, because can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? You can? Okay. Another one, in one of his videos, he talked about a new project. The company just came out with a new product. He said you don't start it when the product comes out of the convention. You start doing the work way ahead of time. And people that be, I don't want to sound bad because the company don't like us to talk about wealth. I'm going to talk about wealth for a minute. This is your chance right here. This is your chance. This is your chance to if that's one of your goals, this is your chance, because the company's come out with a brand new product. You people on this call, because of Mr. Thomas's training, are trained. You're trained. You're already trained. You know the comp plan. You know how to talk to people. You have a system. What you need to do is go dark for about 90 days, not on the system, but that you need to go dark. And what most people do is, some people, Elon Musk, I don't use Elon Musk, I can name several of them. They lost wives. They went home after 90 days because they slept on the floor at the plant that made the Teslas. They were living that thing. They did some stupid stuff for 90 days. And then after that, the world blew up. Everything just blew up. But nobody, especially in this country, wants to sacrifice. That's why I like immigrants so well. Immigrants come to this country and they will sacrifice. They'll buy a hotel and all of them will sleep in 2 rooms. They'll buy a house and they'll have a 4-bedroom house. There's 4 families, 5 families in the house. Americans not do it. We're not going to do that. And they will sacrifice and go through that bad year until everybody. I hired a guy, he was sleeping on the floor in one of the rooms. He was 40 years old. When he died, he had 2 homes on the country club. Okay? But the sacrifices what we need to take, and he's going to talk about that, and that's where he's going to lose you. All this sounds good so far, but when he gets to the sacrifice part, this is where he's going to lose you. But now if you get a sacrifice, you go to your family and tell them, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do, what do you guys want? Write it down, put it on the refrigerator, so that each of the people in your family will know why you're doing what you're doing. Leave daddy alone. Leave mom alone. She's working. Leave mom alone. She's working. Leave daddy alone. He's working. Because they know that in 90 days, so he did the 30-day run, and so we got 3 months till the convention, and after the convention, we got another 3 months for January. So we got a 6-month run. At the convention, they're going to introduce this checking savings account, and they're going to introduce the card, okay? And the other product's going to come later on. So we got actually a 6-month run. And then next year, your 1099 is going to scare you. It's going to scare you. If you put 1,000 people in that room, it's going to scare you. So Mr. Thomas is well aware of that. We used to go to conventions with 25,000 people at a convention. And so this is what I got for today, Mr. Thomas. I want to kind of turn it back over to you and segue over, okay?